Skibbity doo bop ba dow. Let's get some music going. I'm a scat man. Skibbity bum ba dum bum. Scoop up ba dum bum. All right. So here's our fishing room. I wanted to... Oh, someone calling me? Nope. No one is phoning me. Oh yeah, I want to have a sip of coffee first. Let's get this pot started. All right. Very good, very good, very good. So we've got our first little spacey room here. We've got our laser fishing rod, which will probably change. We've got a display of what angle the rod's at, and we've got a frame rate display. Right now I'm getting a steady 60 frames per second off what I've built, which is good. And that's 60 in the headset, not 60 in the preview window here. In the preview window here, I'm getting more like almost 200 frames per second, so that's good. So I want to make the bay stretch back a little bit like this. This thing here, I'm probably gonna just drop this down a little bit. There we go. And then I'm gonna grab the edge and bring it back. Oh, that's not snapping. That's weird. Oh. There we go. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to grab this face. We're going to scale that to about there, I think. That seems right-ish. Okay. And then we're going to... Did I do that on the other side? No, I didn't. I just moved the edge. So let's just grab that edge and move it in. Good. Now we're just going to hit those faces up. And we'll Alt 5 them. Nice. That looks a lot better. So now when you're in the game and you look around, you'll actually be able to see a lot more. All right. Oh, I forgot to open my chat. www. Yeah, let's just get rid of the whole force field, really, like... Though it would be nice to start with the force field. I feel like, though, if we get rid of it... There we go. And then we can take these points, slide one over there, slide one over there, and then let's get these, let's delete some faces here. Can I delete that edge? Well, there's just not much I can do about those things. Well, they're glitchy, but they're not causing too many issues yet. Barg. It's so annoying to have that random geometry in there. I might have to export the FBX and re-import it, but I should be focusing on gameplay. Alright, so the idea here is that so what controller is this? This is tracked controller. Oh, so this is actually the player rod controller. There we go. Let's just show that. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. So that's part of the player, directional light, OVR manager. We can go down here for now. We got some asteroid holders, so let's collapse those. Here's our game manager. Okay, Laserfish manager. Let's put that right at the top so I don't lose it again. All right. And let's pop open a little BFXer here. And I'm going to turn this off for a moment. All right, so... Oof. Ouch. I need something loopable as well. Now we're getting somewhere. That's a pretty good laser fishing rod startup sound. Let's play that one again. I like it. Oh, the joy of listening to making sound effects. It's the worst. Okay, let's not do that. Oh man, this is getting painful. I hate when I've lost. Whoops. Okay. Apparently undo resets the whole thing. That actually is something to work with. Alright, so length. Ouch! Okay. Okay, there's our basic tone. Okay. Now... That's super loud, it seems like. Okay. And then we want... Now... Okay. That's not bad. Okay. Okay, so except for that last little pop at the end, which I can fix in the audio editor, it's not bad actually. Like, so I'm thinking of the sound when you pull back the rod, you hit the trigger and it should go. So there's a little bit of a pop at the end, but I'm going to save that. Let's just do this here. Let's open Notepad. All right, so rod start cast, we'll call this one, and that way I won't lose it again when we start playing with it. Whoa. A little bit of a pop right at the end there too. Okay, let's stop fiddling with it for now. We're going to pop that in as Rodcast. Save it. Okay, there's Rodcast. And now we need a rod release. So that can almost... Whoa. It's not bad actually for the release. So we go like vroom, I'm actually gonna call that Rodcast release and just not spend too long on it. Good. All right. Let's pop those in there. So on the end of the rod, we're going to create an audio source. And this audio should be, we're going to move it to the end of it. There we go. So it sounds like it's coming from the end of the thing. So this will be cast, and the audio clip will be this. And we are going to spatially blend it by about 0.8. Good. 3D sound settings. Good, good, good. That's fine. Now we're going to duplicate that cast. Oh, and we don't want to play on awake. And we're going to call this one release. And we're going to go Rodcast release on that one. Good, good, good. All right, so man, I need like a controller that I can test this with. Let's add in some basic keyboard commands. So on the player rod controller, tracked controller, how do we do my conditionals now? Okay, so that'll put us in the Unity editor, and we want, what do we want? Keyboard controls. When do we want them? Now! All right, let's get some music back on while I'm doing the coding. The coded abode. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Easier if you can see the code. All right. I'm not going to say it's more interesting if you can see the code, but if input dot get key. Key code, and we'll just go up arrow. Let's just see, can we, over input dot controller dot okay, I'm gonna just look that up just to see what that actually does. Oh. Reserved, 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 button 2. If I switch this to active, I wonder if that'll still work. Okay, so on start, if equals okay, so we're just gonna say so we're gonna say private bool controller active equals true, and then we'll turn it off if we can't find any. All right, so, and then this way it won't be interfering with my up and down arrow as I'm testing. Okay, so, and we're going to transform, rotate, new vector 3. So we're going to go on the X. So we're going to have a public float that is, let's get rid of all that stuff. So our float variable is going to be keyboard rot speed. And we're going to do the same thing for down arrow. Except this is that. Alright, and so now on the rod controller we should get a little scoop-de-doo there that gives us speed. And we'll just set it to 1 for now just to see how fast it goes. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Alright. Which says to me that probably the controller is still active. Oh, I set it to not equal to none. So we need to switch these, that's why. There we go. If any controller is active, then it'll wagad. Old man dancing to his coding activities. There we go. 112 degrees. Good. 0, 18. Okay, good. So now we can test. So we want to know if it's greater than about 69, dude. All right, so okay, so we want a public float that is cast rear angle, and then we want cast front angle. Good. And Okay. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the cheer. So, yeah, basically what I'm doing is, I don't know if you caught earlier, but I am creating a laser fishing game. So I haven't seen you in ages. So yeah, I know. So the idea here is, so that's your ship. We're making a laser fishing game. So you're going to be in the Oculus Go. So in this VR headset right here, and you'll be using this controller, and you'll be casting out into space and catching like space fish, basically. It's kind of a weird idea, but I think it might have a little bit of it might be a little bit of fun. You'll be able to catch different size fish. But the thing is there'll be like weird robot, you know, an alien space fish. Thank you. So, and then the idea is you'll try and catch like all sorts of different sizes, and then you'll be able to cash in the fish for like upgrades to your fishing rod and that sort of stuff. It's just a weird, it was a bizarre idea I had, but I wanted to make something kind of weird and fun. So I looked it up too, and it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of space fishing games out. So yeah. All right, so well, Eileen, thank you so much for popping in. I haven't seen you in ages, and yeah, it's just always glad to see you around. Awesome. All right, we'll talk to you in a bit. All right, so I need to make the casting work now. So, so our cast rear angle will be 70 degrees. Our cast front angle will be anything less than about 20. So we're going to create a Laserfish manager there. All right, so there's our Laserfish manager. So we're going to go, we're going to add a Laserfish manager routine here that says, good. And we're going to keep that track of that angle to floor as a private float here. Equal to 0 to start. We don't need float twice. Good. All right. So we've got our angle to floor. We are going to go in here and if angle to floor is if angle to floor is greater than max angle, then we're gonna play the initial cast audio. And if angle to floor is less than max angle, nope, min angle, and cast started equals true. Now this is a new variable that I just made up, so I need to have that as a private boolean private bool. Alright, so we'll set that as cast started. Yummy coffee. Alright, so if greater than and cast started equals false, then play the release cast audio. So first we want to cast started equals true. So now in this case, we're going to cast it with our min and our max angle. Now these will be things that will be controlled in different rods. So as you get different rods going on in the game, you'll actually be able to have different, they'll have different adjustments. So we want our cast rear angle and our cast front angle. Good. Cast started equals true, and this one will be cast started equals false. Now we want public audio clip. Start cast, and we not want another one that says release cast. All right, so we want audio sources, not audio clips. Okay, and then we want release cast dot play when you let it go, and so that's, so when we're going to cast it when you do this or that. Yeah, so but we want to so this is just an extra check to make sure that if I release it up here instead of, like if I release it too high instead of releasing it below a 20-degree angle, that it won't do the thing with the stuff and the whatnot. Okay, so. All right, let's pause this audio. Boop, boop. Boop. Okay. So I need to wire everything up. Let's so our start cast should be here, our release cast should be here. There we go. Let's try that again. Oops. Okay, we do have a glitch here somewhere. Object track to controller. Oh, so the track to controller, so the controller rod needs to have the game manager reference. There we go. All right, let's try that again. One more time, but this time with feeling. All right, so we're gonna lift up our rod and let it go. Something went wrong there. Interesting. So it played the starting one. Let's clear this. Oh, dude. So, I know my problem. So, cast started equals true, so this needs to happen before that one. Because otherwise, if I release at the wrong angle, like it basically... Oh, and this is... Yeah, that's not going to work. So if we want, if your angle to floor is greater than the minimum angle and cast started and angle to floor is less than max angle and cast started equals true, then we want cast started equals false because they've released it in a place where they shouldn't. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. All right, all right, all right. Logic, as the man says. Game flow logic. All right. So we're going to go up here. There we go. So we actually want it greater than 90 and less than 40. So cast rear angle 90 and 40. Good. All right, so we've got our sounds playing. That's good. Wiggity whack. Whack. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Scoop boop boop doo. Scoop de whoop. Poop de poop. Scoop de poop de boop de boop. All right. See, I'm a musical genius. Scoop de doop. Poop de whoop. Okay, and it's looking pretty muddy in here, so let's regenerate our lighting so that all this doesn't look quite so turdy, I guess is a word. Now I'm going to need something that... Well, that's going. Let's have a quick look at the asshat store. Well, I mean asset store, obviously. I don't know what you heard. I could just use hundreds of tiny particles with trails to represent it. Might be a little taxing on the old Oculus Go hardware. So I could... Alright, let's not worry about the beam effect. Let's worry about the lure. So we're going to create a script called lure. This may change later, but for now it'll work. And let's create a new little shape. We'll make a poly, like ISO. There we go. That's good. We'll go 0.2 on this guy. Subdivisions. One's fine. Alright, let's build that. We'll center the pivot on it. Music. Alright, so we'll call this one initial, we'll call this one a lure. And so let's center the pivot on it. Good. There, that makes it nice and glowy. Okay. It's bugging me that that's 000 and not... Anyway, we'll figure that out later. Alright, so there's our lure. We're going to add the lure script to it. Not a velour script, just a lure script. Alright, we need to make this a mover. Boom. It's got to move it, move it. It's got to move it, move it. It's got to move it. Alright. Alright, so let's bump that into our prefabs just as is. Good. We probably won't actually need to spawn it over and over again. We'll probably just have one lure that comes out every time. Let's see how big that is compared to our... Okay, so on the lure, we're going to do a sine wave to make it pulse. Oh, ouch. So we want dot sine wave and alright. Let's move that lure out here so we can see what that effect is. Might be a little bizarre. Could be wildly all over the place. That's just weird. There we go. See, I was going the wrong way. I want this to have less of an effect, so it should be scaling down. There we go. So if we half it and we double this, that should double the speed it pulses at. Cool. So I probably want like there. So that'll give us a quick pulsing, like a whoop 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 kind of thing. Okay, that's pretty nice. So we'll apply that. We'll get rid of that guy. On the game manager, we're going to go back here and we're going to create a Alright, so we're going to create a header called prefabs. We're going to keep those all locked into one place. We're going to have a public game object called lure. I'm going to start prefixing my prefabs with p underscore. Why not? Alright. So we're going to instantiate a new game object, allure. Alright, so lure spawn transform.position and our new lure, oops, dot transform rotation. Should equal our lure spawn location. Oops, rotation, not thinking location when I mean rotation. Alright, so we've got that. And then we're going to send a message to that one to say we're going to say cast out, and for now, let's say we're going to use a 0 to 1 scale. So oh no, we want this to be a float. Forward speed equals to 0. 0 float. Good. All right. So when we cast it out, so we'll give it an initial, and we'll have a public float. Okay. We'll just call this friction for now. So we want our forward speed to be equal to our max speed times our modifier. So if our forward speed is greater than 0, forward speed minus equals friction times time dot delta time, and we want to transform dot translate transform dot forward times our forward speed times time dot delta time. Alright, so that should move us forward at whatever our speed is and have a little bit of roll off. Okay, so on the tip of the fishing rod, oh, we already have a launch point. Let's have a look at that. So we're going to move the launch point way out here. And on the game manager, we should have lure spawn, and then we should have a prefab for the lure. All right, that should be hooked up. So now if I go okay, pretty sure I spawned it at the wrong spot there. Yeah. So here's one thing just about the logical code order, is if I want, oh no. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's put these in the order that they could possibly happen, now that this one isn't actually affecting the... Okay, so let's see how far that thing got. That's pretty good. Can I actually see that from where I am? Nope, it's moving beyond our field of view. Okay, let's try that. Up. Cast. Oh, I see. The lure's max speed has already been set here, so we'll go 9 and 1.1. So eventually we'll want to create different lures. Cool. Okay, so on the lure, it's set to light blue. We're going to only pulse it once it's in place. And cool, okay, that's pretty fun. Now I need to make sure that those same controls work on the rod. Oops. There we go. So when we track the controller, right now we're only using the keyboard, but if our controller is active, so we want if over input dot get down. Then we want get on up. Returns true if any masked button was released this frame. Okay, cool. And we want to do the same thing. We want to cast it here. All right, boy. What are we plugged into here? So okay, cool. Laserfish, here we come. While that's building, I just want to do a quick check of my email here. Skibbity doobity ba, good, everything's fine there. Skibbity boobity boop. How's that build going? It is building like the wind. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
All right, well, I guess I have a meeting in a couple minutes, so let's call that for now. And I'll test in a bit.